Or Subpart B, drug testing purpose. The purpose of the subpart is to establish a program designed to help prevent accidents and result in the use of prohibited drugs employed for the perform coverage for the operator certain pipeline facilities subject to 192, 193, 195 of the chapter anti-drug plan. The operator with shall maintain with the following with the anti-drug plan with the requirements of the proceed with the plan must contain method to proceed with the compliance with all the requirements of this department, including the employee, the assessment program, the name of the draft of each of the laboratory analysis with specimens collected for drug testing, the name of the draft of the operator with the medical review officer with the substance abuse professional, procedure for the notifying employee with the coverage provisions of the plan. Associated Administrative State Agency submitted with the current certification under the Pipeline Safety Law of Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6101 with respect to the pipeline facility governed by the operator's plan procedure that may after notice of the opportunity for a hearing to provide in Title 49 CFR 19206 of the relevant state procedure required by the operator to amend its plan procedure that is necessary if it provides reasonable level of safety. And 199, 103, use of the person who failed to review the drug test. Operator may not only leave the employee with any person with a failed the drug test required by the part with the medical review officer make the determination of the procedure to refuse to take the drug test required by the Subpart Part A1 of the section does not apply for the person to have the path of the drug test of the procedure, but in consider the medical review officer according with the procedure that have been determined by the substance abuse professional to successfully complete the required education and treatment, and not fail the drug test required for the Subpart of the return to duty 109, 105. More duty drug tests require that each operator should conduct the following drug tests in the presence of the prohibited drug. Pre-employment the testing not operating may hire in contact with the use of any of the person employed unless the person passed the drug test is covered by an anti-drug program that conforms with the requirements of the post-accident training. Post-accident testing as soon as possible, no later than 32 hours after the incident of the operator most of the drug test for the surveying of the covered employee with the performance to cover the function of either, but the contributor of the accident cannot completely be discounted as a contributing factor to the accident. Operator may decide the test under the paragraph such as the decision based on the specific information has to cover the employee with employment. The performance have no role causing the severity of the accident. If the test is required for the section not administered within 32 hours of the accident, the operator must prepare to maintain the decision start of the reason for the testing not properly administer the test required within paragraph B1 of the section is not administered within 32 hours following the accident. The operator may see the attempt of the administrator of the drug test must state in the record the reason for not administering the test. Random testing, except for provided in paragraphs C2 and through 4 with the section minimum of the annual percentage of the random drug test shall be 50% of the covered employee. Administrative decision with the decrease for the minimum of the annual percentage of the rate of the random drug test pays for the report positive for the rate of the entire industry. All information used with the determination drawn by drug MIS report required in Subpart and on order to ensure reliability with the data, the administrator consider the quality of the completeness of the reported data may obtain additional information from the reports from operators may make appropriate modifications calculating the industry positive rate each of the year. Administrator will publish the Federal Register of the minimum annual percentage rate of the drug testing with the covered employee with new minimum annual percentage rate with the random drug testing will be applicable starting January 1st of the calendar year of the following publication. When the minimum annual percentage of the rate of the random drug testing is 50%, the administrator may lower the rate to 25% of all the covered employees, and if the administrator determines the data received under the requirements of 199, 119, two consecutive calendar years indicate the reported positive rate of less than 1%. With the minimum annual percentage rate with the random drug testing, 25% of the data received under the reporting requirements of 199, 119, and any calendar indicated the reported positive rate of equal to greater than 1% of the administrator will increase the minimum annual percentage of the rate for the random drug testing 50% of all the covered employees. The selection of employee with random drug testing shall be made with a scientifically valid method to show the random number of the table of the computer-based number generator so that it match for the employee with security and the social security number, the payroll identification number, the other comparable identifying numbers are in the selection process used each of the covered the employee should have the equal chance of being tested for each time selections are made. The operator shall randomly select the sufficient number of the covered employee with the testing during each of the calendar year with the equal annual rate not less than minimum annual percent of the rate of the random drug test determined by the administrator. If the operator for the random drug testing through the consortium, the number of the employees to be tested by may be calculated for individual operative, but may be based on the total number of the covered employees covered by the consortium that was subject to the random drug testing. The same minimum annual percent of the rate under this operator under the subpart with any of the testing rules. Operators shall ensure the random drug tests conducted with the subpart are unannounced that the date with administering the random tests are spread reasonably throughout the calendar year. If the given uncovered employee with the random drug test under the drug testing rule with more than one agency for the same operative, the employee is subject to the random drug testing at the percent of the rate established calendar year by the agency regulating more than 50% of the employee function. If an operator is required to conduct the random drug testing under the drug testing rules with more than one agency. The operator may establish a separate pool for the random selection with each of the pool containing the covered employees who are subject to the testing. The same required random selection for such for the employee with the testing a high percentage of the rate with the established calendar year by the agency, which are the object of is the operator's subject. Our testing based on reasonable call the operator with the drug test. Each of them employee with the area of the responsible for the belief the employees using prohibited drug. The decision test may be based on reasonable and accurate belief the employee that use the prohibited drug. The basis of contemporary physical behavior, the performance indicators of probable drugs. At least two of the employee, the supervisor, one of them, the training, the detection, and the possible symptoms of the drug shall substantially be able to concur with the decision. They employ the concurrence between the two and supervisors made the telephone with the however the case the operator with 50 or fewer employees subject to the testing under the Subpart. Only one of the supervisors employed trained the detecting possible drug use systems and substantiate the decision for test. All right, return to do the testing. Covered employee who refused to take the have the positive drug test may not return to duty and covered function until the covered employee has complied with the applicable procedure concerning the substance abuse professional return to duty procedure. Following up test. Covered employee who refused to take the have the positive drug test shall be shoved to unannounced follow-up drug test administered by the operator to finally with the covered employee with return to duty. The number and the frequency of the follow-up testing should be determined by the substance abuse professional. The shall consider at least 6 tests for the in the first 12 months following the covered employee with return to duty. In addition, the following up tests that may include the testing of alcohol, directed substance abuse professional that be formed in accordance with Title 49 CFR Part 40 of the following up testing shall not exceed 60 months from the date of the covered employee. The return to duty substance abuse professional may terminate the requirement of the follow-up of the testing at the time after 6 has been administered if the substance abuse professional determines that such testing is no longer necessary. All right, 199-107, the drug testing laboratory. Each operator shall use the drug testing required of this own drug testing laboratory certified the Department of Health and Human Services that perceive the drug testing laboratories must permit the inspection of the operator before the laboratory is awarded testing of the in contract and unannounced inspection including examination records at any time by the operator administrator and the operator is subject to the state agency jurisdiction representative of the state agency. 119-109 review of the drug testing requirements of the MRO appointment that each of the operators designates to appoint the medical review officer of the operative is not qualified individual on the staff to serve the medical review officer of the operator with contract and provision of the medical review officer. This is a part of the anti-drug program. Medical review officer for qualification. Medical review officer must be a licensed physician who has the qualification required for that procedure. Medical review officer must perform function for the operator as the required procedure. Medical review officer reports. The MR medical review officer reports on all of the drug tests result of the operator in accordance with that procedure. Evaluation rehabilitation may be provided by the operator with the substance abuse professional under the contract with the operator of the substance abuse professional not affiliated with the operator choice of the substance abuse professional. The assignment of the cost shall be made according with the operator employed with the agreements with the operator and policy. The operator shall ensure the substance abuse professional that determines the covered employee with and require the assistance for the resolving problem of drug abuse does not refer to the covered employee with the substance abuse professional private the proactive of the personal organization from which the substance abuse professional receive the remuneration of the which for the substance abuse professional if has financial interest. The paragraph does not and prohibit the substance abuse professional referring to the covered employee. The assistance provided by the public agency of the state of the county, the municipal, the operator of the person under the contract for treatment of the drug with the problem on behalf of the operator, or for the therapeutical appropriate treatment under the emergency employees health and insurance program, and the sole service of the therapeutical appropriate treatment is responsible and accessible to the employee. 199, 111 is reserved. 101, 199, 113 employee with the assistant program. Each of the operators shall provide the employee the assistance program for the employees and supervise the personnel to determine whether the employee must be the drug tested based on the reasonable couple the operator may establish for the employee assistance program as part of the internal personnel services of the operator may contract with the intake to provide the employee assistance program services. Each of the employee assistance program provides education the training with the drug the discretion of the operator of the employee and assistant program may include the opportunity for the employee rehabilitation education for the owner of the employee and assistant program must be included the least of the following elements to display the distribution information of the materials display the distribution of the community service hotline telephone number of the employee with the assistance display with the distribution of the employer's policy regarding the use of prohibited drugs training of the employee as assistant and program supervise the personnel who will determine whether the employee must be drug tested based on the reasonable cover the include the 60-minute period of training, specific contemporary physical behavior and performance indicator probable drug use. 199, 115 contractor employee with respect to these employed with the contractors employed with the contractor. The operator may provide the contractor with the drug testing, educate the training required by this part with the carried out with the contractor provided. Operator remains responsible for ensuring the requirements of this part complied with. The contractor allowed the acts of the property record for the operative administrator. If the operator subject to the jurisdiction agency, representative of the state agency, purpose of monitoring the operator complying with the requirements of the part. 119, 199, 17, 117. Record keeping. Each operation shall keep the following records of the periods specified with the permit to access the record provided by the paragraph of the section. Record with the demonstrate with the column collection process conforms with the part of the must be kept for at least 3 years. Record with the employee of the drug testing vary by positive result of the records would demonstrate the compliance with the recommendations of substance abuse professional. The MIS annual report shall data shall be maintained minimum of the 5 years record. Employee with the drug test result that you should employ with the past the drug test may be kept at least 1 year. Records confirming the supervisor employee that have been trained with the recorder that this part must be kept for at least 3 years. Record the decision of the not admission for the post-accident employee drug test must be kept for at least 3 years. Information regarding individual use of drug test resulting in rehabilitation must be released upon written consent with the individual provided with the procedure. Statistically, data related to the drug testing and rehabilitation is not named specifically. Training records must be made available to the Ministry of the representative of the state the agency upon request. 199, 119. Reporting anti-drug result. Each larger operative that have over the cover. If the employee with the most substantial submit the annual management information system report with the PHMSA with the anti-drug testing with the management information system form. The instruct covered in Title 49 for the Part 40, Statute 40, 26 for the Appendix H of the Part 40 no later than March 5th of each for the year of the prior calendar year of the January 1st through December 31st. Ministers may require notice of the PHMS portal, the PHMSS.gov, PHMSS portal landing. Small operative with a 50 viewer covered employee with no otherwise required to submit the management information system report prior to submit such PHMSA reports to the PHMSA. Each of the report required under the section submitted electronically with the DAMIS.gov. Operators may obtain with the use of the name of the path for the need with electrical reporting with the PHMS portal, PHMSA.gov, the PHMS portal landing. If electronic record imposing undue the burden with the hardship of the operative with the submitted the written request for the alternative reporting method, the information for resource management manager, office of the pipeline safety hazards material. Safety Administration, 1200 New Jersey Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C. 20590. The request for the most described the unique burden hardship. PHMSA reviewed the request and they authorize in writing the alternative reporting method. The authorization will stay with the period of the which valid, which will make identifying the operator must contact with the PHMSA 202-366-8075 electronically. Information resource manager.gov to make arrangements and submitting of the report due after the request of the alternative reporting submitted, but before authorization denial, the receiver calculate with the total number of the covered employee with the eligible for random test throughout the year with as an operative with the must have the total number of the covered employee eligible for testing during each of the random testing period. The year divided with the total of the number of the random testing period of the covered employees. Only covered employees that are to be in the all employers' random testing pool. All covered employees must be in the random pool if the employer conducting the random test more than one per year that you select with daily, weekly, or bi-weekly. You need to you do not need to compute the total number of the covered employee with the rate of the more than once per month basis. An employer may use the service agency to perform the random selection of you. For you, your covered employees may be part of the larger random testing pool with the covered employee. However, you must ensure the service agent with your testing of the appropriate percentage established with your injury that the only covered employee with a random testing pool. Each operator has the covered employee that perform with the multi-doubt the function of the employee that performs the pipeline maintenance duties to drive the commercial curb motor vehicle to count the employee only as the management information system reported the agency under the he or she randomly tested. Normally, this will the agency under the employee that performs more than 50% of the his or her duty to the operative that have to explain the testing data of the employee with the event. The agency inspection and audit the service agency agent consortium with a third party administrator defined in Title 49 Part 40 may prepare management information system report on behalf of the operative. However, each of the reports shall be certified the operator anti-drug management designated representing the operator accuracy and completeness. Subpart C, alcohol misuse and prevention.